Hey guys, and welcome back to another one. So this channel, we're going to do everything all about waterfowl, learning the basics, learning the things that you need to do to, well, be a good, strong, educated duck hunter, because that's what we need more of. If you're getting into duck hunting and you want to know the basics and a little bit of the advanced stuff later, continue to follow this channel because you'll learn a lot, I promise you. So on today's episode of Justin, how do I become a duck hunter? Well, we're going to understand shot string. Yes, I have a pool noodle. You'll figure that out in a minute. So what is shot string? What does it mean when we're talking pellets in a shotgun shell? Well, we went over a little bit of shot size. So the bigger the number in a shotgun shell as far as the pellets are concerned, the smaller they are. But how does it affect how you take out birds? How do you harvest them? Well, it comes down to a couple different factors. When you're shooting at a flying object, well, it's moving. If you're shooting at a flying object and you stop moving, chances are you're probably not going to hit that subject, that target, that clay pigeon, that mallard, that prize goose, and whatever that you're after, because, well, when you stop, so does your shot string. When a shot string leaves the shotgun shell, a couple things happen. You have a wad, which is a plastic device that holds all the pellets. I'll put a reference up here. But as you're going through and pulling the trigger, a lot of things are happening all at once. As you're going and shooting at that bird, things happen. If you're shooting at a bird and you stop your gun, you've created a dilemma. What is that dilemma? Well, it's very simple. Think of your shot string of your pellets. So it's a whole canister of little pellets. Think of your shot string as, yes, this pool noodle. If you swing through a bird as it's flying across in front of you, when your pellets come out of that shotgun shell, you're swinging a barrel. As they come out of that tube, that metal tube that you're shooting, 12 gauge, 20 gauge, doesn't matter. When you're shooting that, it's creating a row of pellets about this long as you're following and shooting at a duck. Now what happens when you stop swinging your gun? That's your pattern. This very small little piece. Might be a little bit bigger than that in reality, but that's what you're doing when you stop your gun. So on our last episode, we went over a couple different things for definitions. Well, one of the definitions that you have to understand as a waterfowler is your shotgun pattern. One of the things people will do is, if you're a deer hunter or a target shooter, well, you shoot at targets. Well, how do you pattern a shotgun? With a bunch of little BBs all over the place rather than one projectile. Well, you can start by going to a range similar to where you would to shoot a rifle and what have you, and put up a paper target. Doesn't have to have anything fancy on it. Put a big circle on it. Shoot that gun at 20 yards. Shoot that gun at 30 yards. And then shoot your gun at 40 yards and see how dense the BBs being close together, or less dense and being all spread out on the target, having pellets all over the place. That gives you a good understanding of where you should be shooting at ducks that are in your decoys versus when you have pass shots where the ducks are flying up over your head, and understanding those distances. Most shotgun patterns at 20 yards are, well, probably about the width of this pool noodle, about that big. If you get out to 40 yards or even further than that, your pattern blows out and you have pellets all over the place, and it could be a pattern the size of a piece of plywood. So if you have that pattern going on and your shot string has disappeared, what's going to happen? Well, you're going to cripple birds. And nobody wants to go out there just to injure stuff, right? We want to go out there, we want to harvest the birds, we want to come home with a limit, have a good time, bring food home for the family, and that's what it should be about. So understanding your pattern, for example, my Winchester SX4 shoots a little high and to the left. So I know that and I understand that my pattern density in my pattern is a little bit high and to the left. So I will adjust that when I'm swing shooting at birds to get a little further ahead and below that bird to be able to have more pellets on target. So you understood the pattern. You get to the point where you've gone to a range and you've patterned your shotgun and you understand it. Take that information and allow that gun to be a part of you. the fit, the feel, where the buttons are, where the safety is, where the trigger is, where the trigger guard is, how it's sloped. All those things come into play when you develop muscle memory. Muscle memory is very simple. Doing the same thing over and over of how you bring up your shotgun, how you shoulder it, how you aim, how you swing your gun, and developing that skill. It takes a while. You will miss birds. You will shoot at things, you will miss miserably. But understanding that pattern is that first part, but then understanding your shot string similar to this pool noodle, I'm going to get to that in a second here. The pool noodle symbolizes to me your shot string when you're shooting at a moving subject. What does that mean? When the pellets are coming out, they're coming out as you're swinging your gun. Imagine yourself throwing this pool noodle of pellets at that bird. If you look at that, how much room for error do you have where you can still hit your target? Quite a bit. How much room do you have for error when your target is this small when you stop? That is the main thing of a visual thing to show a new hunter or a couple season in hunter of if you're missing birds, more than likely you're doing one of two things. You're either stopping your shotgun on a flying subject, or when you're getting ahead of that subject, you're not leading far enough. You got all this play on the backside of your shot string. If the bird is here and it's getting out in front of you, if you get right on here, you're only hitting it with the front part of your target, or your pellet rather. But you have all this other play to be able to lead that bird a little farther, and I guarantee if you lead birds more than you realize, you'll be knocking more out of the sky. So how do you take what you learned today and apply it in a practical setting to, well, practice? Clay pigeons. Shooting clay pigeons is a very easy, practical way to shoot at non-live animals and basically be able to practice. Practice leading farther than you normally would. Practice shots that are coming toward you, away from you, left to right motions. All that stuff matters. I'm really good at shooting birds coming from my left to my right. I struggle the other way. Not sure why, but it's just how I shoot. And you understanding those options puts more birds in your boat as well because, well, if you're taking shots that you're highly successful on, well, then you're going to be bringing more birds home. So how do you take shot string, pattern, and pattern density? How do you take all those terms and apply them? Try different sizes of pellets, of BBs. Pattern them on different pieces of paper so you can understand what a pattern in a shotgun looks like with 2-shot, really big pellets, or what it looks like with 9-shot, little pellets at 20, 30, and 40 yards. And you'll understand a little bit more of your gun, making it a part of you, but also it'll help you figure out what shot size works well for your gun. A lot of the time, if you go too fast on feet per second, some guys will get 1,700 feet a second rounds and they'll go to double BB. By the time that stuff comes out of your gun, guys, you got these big pellets flying, just ripping. Your pattern blows out before it even gets to the animal. And what I mean by pattern blowout is very simple. As those BBs get out in the air, all that force behind them makes them spread out so far that your pattern just isn't there anymore. So you're going to be wounding birds if you don't know that, if you don't understand that aspect of it. Try different rounds, try different shot sizes. Heck, try even different gauges of shotguns. Try a 12 gauge, try a 20 gauge. When you find the gun that works best for you, I guarantee you guys, you'll be knocking more birds down. So guys, I hope this is educational for you guys, I really do. I'm going to keep doing more of these. It's going to be very simplistic, like I said before. We're going to go into so many different terms and terminologies. We'll get into the meat and potatoes later, the bird ID and all the other aspects that go into hunting. But for the most part, if you're just learning something, you should learn it from the grassroots perspective. Learn it from the very simplistic stuff. What boots to wear, what shotgun shells, what gun, the simple stuff. And when you learn that, you'll be a better hunter. So if you like this stuff, let us know how we're doing on these, because after all, YouTube should be used for more than just random content. It should be used for educational purposes, which a lot of people do. And I can respect that. When you're wanting to learn how to be a waterfowler, find like-minded people like myself that are trying to teach you this stuff. If you don't have a dad, if you don't have grandpa, you don't have somebody to basically show you the ropes and show you how it's done rather than learning from a 16-year-old at Quick Trip. Follow the channel, let me know how we're doing, and hey guys, we'll see you on the next one.